All right. Good evening, all. This is Fadi Hemzi. It's 5:07 p.m. On Tuesday, March 5th, 2024. Uh, this is a webinar that we call, let's see, what do we call this? We call this, and there's a snap for it. Here we go. There we go. Trade what you see, not what you think. Of course, we put a bunch of shirts together. We're going to be giving those out. Pima Cotton, Brooks Brothers Quality, and it's trade what you see, not what you think. Okay, this is for our members. We're not selling them. It's not for sale. We're not trying to sell you anything here. What we're trying to do, explain to you what we've done recently, and we have to do it every so often. The last big recording we did for this was 2020. A lot has happened since 2020, especially our venture into systems, and which has been it was extremely difficult at the beginning. Coming out of the gate, we hit it on all cylinders, and then we got into trouble. Why? Too many people came in. Way too many people came in. I mean, we had a massive number of people out of two system houses in Chicago. And so we had to kind of downgrade a little bit the way it was triggering the orders, and our performance suffered for that. But then we changed some of the logic, and I think we're more stabilized. And the other thing we have done also is that during the day when I see an opportunity, like it happened today, to get out, I just pick up the phone and tell them to get out. As a software uh, uh, provider, as a programmer, I don't know what they call it. I have that right, but not pick and choose which account. Just all out, boom, and they knock all the orders out and close them. Now, here's give you an example. That's this was 6:44 today. Today was the up. This is 3 MNQs. Yeah, here's a chart for that. Let me go there quickly for you. You could see what the OTF did. Oh, I'm sorry, Orb did. Let me bring this. Okay, you could see. Short here, first early profit, so we immediately put a BE in here. And then, of course, boom, we hit the MC exit. That's the second trade, and then that's end of time. It was a tremendous day today, no question. It made 644. We made something like 100 and something. Why? I left early. I left early. I hit the button. Now, if you look, we've done that recently for about a week now. We've had a pretty good luck with it. We haven't had losses. We have had small wins, but sometimes you're going to leave on the table a big win, but you just don't know. Yeah. How many times you get big wins? Who knows? Today was, I thought it was aberration. But again, I'm not doing market timing. I'm just saying that's what we did. So before we get to systems, why don't we just go back and talk about uh, indicator stuff, okay? Now, I did a webinar in Chicago that was for SIBO, in conjunction with SIBO, and got a lot of requests for repeats called Slope and Color. What we basically were trying to say is that you need to be trading with good indicators, especially if you're doing index. You don't have to do. You don't need to get the fundamental stuff. You don't need to read what the P is, what business they're in, what's the balance sheet, is there a change of management? None of that. It's an index. 500 names in the S&P, 100 names in Nasdaq. So it takes the research out. So it becomes very technical. So what you need to do is trade. So you don't have to spend 2 or 3 hours each night reviewing 200 charts. Don't need to do that. There's one index. So what you need to do though is instead, it's got leverage. It moves fast. So you have to be very focused. The people who get into trouble, hi Dennis, how are you, sir? Get in here and they're all over the place. They're chit chatting, making phone calls. Oh, I've got to talk to Zoom. I've got a guy in Russia who has written software for me. No. Do those after hours. This is what trade what you see, not what you think. You don't have to really think that much, but you have to be very focused on what the chart is giving you, and then what entails is good discipline. People who don't have good discipline, this is not going to work for them. I'll be upfront with you. Now, I came from a family that part of it was in engineering and math and physics. The other part were in the military. So talk about big discipline. I had very little choice. Yeah, I had the discipline or I was out. As they put to me when I got my first B at a tender age of I think 6 or 7. I was in second grade. And I happened to come home with a B, and Daddy didn't like that. Yeah, where he came from, you don't get a B. So let's talk about building your discipline early. Let's go through a few things quickly, guys. As you know, we have a series of indicators called HAPPY. Hamzy Analytics proprietary indicators. It's got 3 levels. I'm going to show you briefly what I'm talking about. You can read about it later. Okay. We have a basic, which we have very little people in it. Majority of people are in a pro, and then the top guys are in expert. Okay. What we've added recently has been to the expert, and one of them, for example, is DMZ. Let me go to. I'm bringing charts actually that we're using from our day session. 6 days a week. We work on from Sunday to Friday night. DMZ is these 3 lines: this line, that line, and this line. It's an offshoot of our favorite indicator, the oldest indicator we have. Well, almost. This is the oldest. I'm sorry. This is the oldest. This is the first hour up and down. Okay, you can see how it retests certain levels. You can see how it changed. Yeah, this is the oldest we have. This goes back to 95, 96. But after that, what I wrote out of my own code from scratch is this thing up here. This one, CIs, and we've got to also combine with CI diff. So in one chart, you get both the CIs and CI diff. Well, there's a little brethren of CI called DCI. Some of you have heard this sermon before. I apologize. I'm trying to give you the context, especially for new people. The CI was done in 2002. I got clients who've been on it nonstop to today. Nonstop. It's amazing. It's amazing. We've never raised their price. They're still paying what they paid back then. We've added a few things. Of course, they upgrade to a new level. That's fine. But this was our basic indicator, first one. We added a diff to it later. The DCI, the double CI, the dual CI, whatever it was called, I forget. Never used. Problem was that it had some flexibility, and that was our mistake. We don't. If you give you flexibility, if we give you flexibility, we get what do we get back? Soup. We got a lot of soup. Okay. Hold on. New questions coming in. Is the audio on, guys? Yes. Can't you guys hear my audio? Is there an issue with audio? I thought I checked that. Yeah, audio is on. Yeah. Okay. Nancy, you guys can hear me? Yeah, good. Okay. So, anyhow, back to the story here. So I'm sorry, I didn't see there was a. I did not. Yeah, I didn't see this. I'm new with this software, guys. The GoToWebinar for today. This is a departure they've done, but it's nice. But we'll see. And that's what's going to be our future going. So might as well start someday. I'm sorry, happening now, but they put this into effect on Saturday, I believe, or Friday night. I forget. But anyhow, so we took the CI and the CI diff, gave it to you guys. You used it. DCI was there. Nobody used it. Part of the problem was that you had 2 inputs, and you guys would play games with these inputs, and you don't realize there's a fast and there's slow. Guess what? The fast has to be shorter term, shorter look back period. There was called the neighborhood behind you has to be shorter. The look back, perhaps the look back should be shorter. Well, you were inversing it, and it was a mess. We never pushed it. It's still there. But go forward, fast forward like 15 years later, probably, what was that, 02? Yeah, probably, maybe 17 years later, I was reading a treatment in a statistical journal. As you know, my background was math and physics, and of course, a lot of physics was taught to us through engineering statistics. We needed to have that also for observations, for experiments, for decoding some views you have, trying to find what's behind it, what's causing the events that you see on the physical side, and so on. So always have my engineering statistics book with me from Wiley, and J. Stuart Hunter was actually my teacher, and he's one of the authors of the book. Bless his soul, he's long gone. But you shouldn't stop there. There are things you can read extra. There are a lot of journals out there. A good person to ask that is Rich Ruscio. He's probably buried in that stuff. Anyhow, that treatment I read was some like middle of the week one week. By Saturday, I was taking a long shower, and boom, it hit me. It hit me that what I can do. Take the dual CI, go through that treatment, and see what we get. Rushed out of the shower, wet and all that, foam and all that. Wrote down a piece of paper, went back to the shower, finished, came back. This was like Saturday noon. I was going to go have a bite with a friend of mine, and I told him, nope, go fly kites. I got work to do. By 2 in the afternoon, DMZ was built. What we've added recently to it is a little dash line, which is the center line for it. Why? You could see where the prices jam up sometimes. So it's good just to know that. Any significance? No, but keep the where the dash lines are. So we call that DMZ plus. So if you have a happy expert with us, go to your indicator package. Let's say you want to add an indicator to it. You could see, you bring it up. There we go. You could see happy. If I go to DMZ, where's my DMZ? That's Mac. There we go. Here you go. There's a DMZ plus. That's that one. DMZ plus plus is different. That's for asset management thing. So that's a little bit different. But DMZ plus is the one with the dashes in there. But basically, the rule is this. And I think that had to do with the, what do you call it? What's his name? Who's the guy in trouble? Trump, yeah. Trump was in Hanoi for some meeting, and he all of a sudden decided he's going to see his buddy, the bromance he had with Supreme Leader Kim at North Korea, 38 parallel, which is the demilitarized zone. The concept here is very simple. Below red, you sell, and you hold on. If it comes inside, decision time, including here. Decision time. And if it goes to green, you got to be long. Now, obviously, we don't do V's, drop and go up. It's there are casual moves and also several tries. You'll get used to that. Again, watch what trade what you see. So watch what you're looking at, and decide. And also pause. Don't rush in. Remember, it's not what you think. It's what the order flow is. So watch the order flow, see how this thing moves. So what you want to do is short here, long there, and in between you have to be ready to take decisions. You have to either close, reverse, or add, that sort of thing. So this is action area. Inside, below that, as you sit in there, you could see the cross. You get the position and sit back. Where do you put your stop? I put stop it at the green. Oh, that's too wide. Well, as you move down here, your ATR has gone up, average true range. As your ATR goes up, your shake is going up. That's the intraday volatility. You should have to open that stop. You can't keep it fixed. You're going to be stopped out early. Would you like to be stopped out here and miss all of this? Of course not. So I suggest is you look at if you're short, green line is your stop. Okay? There's no parameters here. You can't change anything. We locked all of those out. Why? We were getting, thank you, Simon. I appreciate it. Robert, I hope you're getting the audio working there. So maybe you want to recycle in and out, Robert. Yeah. Because we're trying to stay more effective work-wise, focused on the same page that we all are working on, rather than a lot of this different trading suggestions. Can I want to check this and that? No. Kind of very conformal, kind of working together as like a military operation. We execute, okay? I try to help there. Obviously, I'm privileged to have Peter, Dancy there. They're both very helpful in what they see, what they help us. And of course, technology stuff is handled by Cash. So we kind of divide the task between the four of us. Nobody's smart to do everything. And none of us have all the answers. Sometimes I come in and I get enlightened by simple stuff on the chat. So today was an interesting day. But you could see how DMZ keeps you out of trouble. So, and then we talked about DMZ Plus. So that's one of the items. We also did what's called. Hold on, let me do this. Let me see what we have here. Okay, we also did. Let's see, where do we have this? Okay, okay, now there's also a diff for that. Okay, it's called DMZ diff. We also upgraded that to one more iteration. It's called DMZ diff, which is the difference between these two lines, the green and red. We don't care about center line in this case. Green to center line, you could see the pressures, and we had color gradients. We were doing something on our money management side. By the way, there's a lot of back and forth between TCM, Tico Capital Management, and Hamza Analytics. Why? The technologies are used are distinctly different, but there's a research involved. If from some of that research we can give you some help on HA, we do that. Okay, we're not including being distributed out there. We just don't do all of it. Okay, the total top line, encompassing what the tools are. Hi, Cormesh, how are you? Welcome. Uh, those are on the money management side. It's not a subscription. We don't lease it like we do with the HA prop indicators. But we've added, for example, one of these. This is a color gradient. Why did we do that? You could see what's happening to intensity of that red line going to orange, then pulling up. And you could also, if you carefully look, on the greens you see the same thing too, but not as much maybe. You see the yellow there? There's a little bit of yellow here. I don't know if you see it or not. Green to yellow, and then reddish, back to a little bit of yellow, which makes it like tangerine. And then red again, little tangerine, and then a little bit of yellow here, and then becomes green. At least that's what I see on these. Okay. So those are what's color gradients are. Now we added a couple of more things. So let's go over that again. Let me close this. Okay, you got to tell me what these dots are. Okay. Again, I don't want to take credit for everything. I get some credit. I probably took the biggest risk, but there's a lot of help from others, including you guys. There's a lot of help from folks who traded with us over the years, came up with an idea and said, "Hey, can you take a look at this?" Or have you ever seen that? For example, I don't know if you remember, guys, Ted Ketter. He was probably our first software indicator guy that would he's used the CI for so long. Gave me a lot of early feedback. Well, one of them was I forget his name of the thing. He had talked to me about the impact of transportation index, okay, Russell versus SPX, okay. So I gotta give him credit. I learned a lot there. I noticed how these two interact with each other. Uh, Not necessarily every second, not every tick, but they will go out of whack, out of sequence. They come back in, like a mean reversion. They work together for half an hour, then they don't, then they go back, then they catch up. But over a long period of time, they stay in. One of the lessons there learned was SPX goes where transportation is going. You can't go up on transportation. I mean on SPX if transportation is selling. If the sell is strong in the transportation, it's coming. SPX is going to rotate and go south. Same thing with Russell and NDX. Anyhow, another example is Marshall Fried, our guy who put up some money at Fox and Stryker, our system houses in Chicago, from day one. The moment we had this thing working, we had an EXC file for our ORB. He says, "Hey, let me put up some money," because they wouldn't let me put up any money. I'm a developer. Yeah, they keep rules differently. It's I forgot what it's called. Letter of something it's called. It's not a LOPA, which is limited power attorney. It's letter of something involved, which allows a system house to trade as many people as they can on a canned software. I have some rights, like intervene if something goes wrong, but not per account across the board. One command. Okay, and I said fine. So he did that, and I've known Peter. I mean, I've worked with Marshall Fried probably longest than anybody else, other than maybe Nancy. He was also a member of our mass group in LA. Anyhow, one day he came to me and said, "You know, when your CI diffs get to a certain level, I get itchy." So what does that mean? Marshall, talk to me in English. Okay, Marshall is a very peculiar young man. Uh, he goes, and he's a big real estate investor. He does this for fun. He doesn't need to. He plays this for fun. And he usually trades ES. He doesn't trade NQ. I trade through the system for him, NQ, but he himself is not an NQ guy. He's just nerve wracking. But one of the things he had noticed was he said, when the CI diff score above a certain level, I forgot what level we're using, can you give me a marker on that bar? Well, we're using these colors ourselves. If you come here, you could see we're actually doing this too, these color codes, okay? And you can see the magenta line bars. After certain conditions are met, it goes there, based on fear and greed. I'm going to talk about that. That's called DMZ plus ATO as a system. But before we get there, let's talk about indicator part of it. He says when he goes up there, Farry, I need a marker. I said, well, I'm using color coding. So we said, okay, why don't we use another thing called show me? So if you go to apply it, new members, please pay attention. You go ahead to study. Don't go to indicators. Go to show me. We got two files there for you. Okay. It's a CI/CD diff dot. We're gonna do OTFs. No, that's it. That's it. That's what we have. One indicator. It's a CI. I'm sorry, CI diff dot, not CI diff. No, CI diff dot. What that means that we put a dot mark there. You can change the color. You can change the size. But what does it do? It shows that if you draw a line there, for example, mentally, I don't know what level we're using. We can check that. Hold on, let me see if I can get there. Plot 1, no input. 5, okay. If the CI diff goes about 5, not the CI, but CI diff, went over 5, it's going to make a marker. What does it say? We're exceedingly long here. It's getting worse and worse. That means a turn is coming, most likely. Okay. And the same thing on the bottom. Now, let's see. Earlier today, you can see what happened. There you go. When you see this is the beginning of the move. What time was this? No, that's 3 o'clock. Huh? This can't be. Is it today? No, hold on. Yeah. Oh, that's end of yesterday. That's 3-4. I'm sorry. Let's see here. You see that? There we go. It says we're getting exceedingly low in the CIs. See, in this case, negative. So it's longer than -5. If you look at it as an amplitude, it's more than 5 units of CI depth in terms of length. So it's amplitude. Okay, you with me, Rich? Rich knows this stuff with his eyes closed. Okay, so you get a cyan color, which is bullish. When you get magenta color, is bearish. And you can see what happened toward the end, though. We had a very, very strong rally from the bottom. This was about 100 points. As a matter of fact, if you look at what Admiral Tico said earlier today, he says he was talking to Norseman. Thanked him for the bucket truck he had borrowed from him. Sometimes you have to see these beyond the horizon. You're in the bucket truck. And he says, I see 17983. Okay, 17893. Where is that? There you go. There we go. There we go. That's it. I can see now what time that was. I don't know. You tell me what time it was. It was 11:37. It didn't happen until the close. Near the close, we went to that level. Okay, so at 793. Yeah, I'm saying 784. I'm saying 784. So, where did you get that number? I don't know. You asked Tico. Somewhere in one of his charts it showed. But anyhow, when you get, and we gave up on his prediction. I used to make fun of him earlier this afternoon because he was calling for it back here. It didn't happen. Neither closing came. This was a very, very fast run up. But you could see how the dots come. And a lot of my work is based around what the Excel package is. Remember, we have Excel Plus, Excel, large and medium. This is on the go-to webinar during the day. If you look at the Zoom for NQ, there's 5 panels. You can see we have also small. We have folks here who trade this at night even. I don't recommend it, but this is a very small trigger block size. And if you're careful, you can make some money. because you catch a long trend slowly. Are you with me? You catch a long trend slowly. You just can't go hogwash. You gotta be hog wild. You gotta be slow. You gotta be careful, and you gotta be fast on your feet. But you could also see the points, the dots. The two bearish, get ready to get long. Here's your exit. So as you can see, what do you need to do? Pay attention. That's all. This is what you need to do. Easy, easy, Rich, easy. Next thing you know, you're gonna be hanging out with Admiral Tico. Hold on. So basically, that's something new we've added. So the dot. Now we'll have to thank Marshall Fried for that. But to some extent, the other day he goes, "What happened to my indicator?" I said, "What? Your indicator? Hold a second. 2 years around to CI. CI diff came out of it. This was our third indicator. It was CI, DCI, and then diff. 15 years, I don't know. No, this was like a couple of years ago. Like 20 years later, you're telling me you add the dots to it. Now, is your indicator? We laughed about it. He's a good friend. But anyhow, that's what the dot is. Okay? So remember, some of these we've discussed in the chat room. I want to make sure we have something for you guys who are in the happy business, happy indicator package only for you, and go back and forth, re-listen to it, learn it, and so forth. There was one more item we added there, which is hold on, which is our ATR. Now remember, as Richard would tell you, I'm very, very finicky. I work for a couple of German guys on black projects at Northrop. One of them, Mo Hesse. His name was classified until recently. He was head of the B2 project. One thing we learned, we were very, very finicky about our data. That design, I'm not going to get into detail, but that design, B2 bomber, is inherently unstable from an aerodynamic standpoint. So what ran it, and this is public info, public domain. The reason the airplane flew is with computers. Okay, but remember, you needed also redundancy. He was sending 2 young men over Moscow. Nobody knows it until they get there, until they open the bomb bay door. Now the stealth capability is gone. They're gonna see them, and that's really if they're hitting straight up on the radar. So you owe it to them to use the best material, data, systems, concepts for them. I don't know if they want to come back after they start their mission, after they get there, and actually open the bomb bay doors. They don't want to come back because maybe nothing is left of anybody here on this planet. But we owe it to them to give them the best. And what we used to go through on B2 was issues with data, systems, fault isolation, just on and on. Backups, survivable backups. They were massive. Not just in software, but also hardware, hydraulics, engines. There's just a lot of mess. It took a while to get that airplane to where it is now. Now it comes B-21. But why am I saying that? Well, there's this thing called ATR, average true range. It was done by who did the average true range? I forgot the name of the guy. Russell? No, not Russell. What was his name? Hold on. Average true range. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I should know. I used to have his book too. Wales Wilder. Wales Wilder Jr. Yeah, real crazy guy. I mean, this guy was something else. Yeah. The problem is this. You want to read about this? This has a formula. Yeah, this is what you need to do. The problem with the trace station copy is it's recursive, because the person who programmed that can go there and say, "Give me average true range." I'll give you a heads up just to see if you're a purist and you're watching what you're doing. You have to pay attention to these things. If it doesn't matter to you, don't worry about it. Drink some beer. Yeah. Baseball season is coming. Yeah. Average true range. There's a thing. Average. Where's average true range? Hold on. There we go. There's average true range. If you open that up, you'll see as a different result that are short-term vol. We added this thing called ST vol, short-term. That's a correct average true range. Why? That has a recursive formula. Why did that happen? Because the guy who programmed this is not a trader. He's a programmer. You can get a lot of people like that out there. Wilder, correct. Yes, 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 sir. Thank you. So you want to be able. Very few people do both, like Rich. You know, Rich is an exception. Uh, so when you look at these things, you say, huh? So we create our own. Why? What if they fixed it and we don't know they fixed it? Or no, they made it. They didn't fix it. They messed it up. That has happened too. Trust me. I've been in trade sessions since 1992, 93. I mean, I wrote my first code in 93 with a version 3.01, I think it was, or 3.2, I forget. I know the 2 was a disaster. 1.0 was a gimmick. It didn't work. It just showed you something. 2 disaster. Part of that could have been 2.0. Could have been TradeStation. I mean, Windows. But anyhow, long story short, we create that, and we use this for our stop management. Throughout the day, we're constantly looking at what that value is. Okay? And so if you want to be in the play, you've got to adjust accordingly. Now, the amounts are small, they're not big. Obviously, right now at lunchtime, I mean, dinner time, post close. Very low, but at lunchtime, it drops, okay? And at the open, it's very high, and near the close, very high. So you've got to adjust that. We show it in our webpage, in the chat room there for you guys, okay? Let's see, what else have we added? I just list of the indicators we had by date. I'm just going over them. I know these were not covered in our original list of original. If you go to here, you see the webinars there. We not covered those because these are post 2020. As a matter of fact, some of the stuff we've added had to do with the couple of programmers I brought in from TradeStation. I'd wait for them. I knew them for years, but I wait for the non-compete to expire. They came in to help me with Orb, and then of course that was a true learning process. Last 3 years has been incredible for me. What I've learned, what I've probably learned in the last 3 years equals everything I've known before that in trading. Now, of course, I'm taking my experience with their knowledge of this platform, and very, very happy with what we did. Let's see. Now, overall, in these indicators, again, you got to be focused. Look at the charts, and again, slope and color. Please be cognizant of what mode we're in. Is it CI dips? Is it CIs are rising? What's happening to CI dips? If it's slowing down, it's like you're taking your foot off the gas. The car is still going to go forward, but at much lower pace. You haven't put the brake on yet. When you do put the brake on, would be here. That's when you put the brake on, right there. And you can see what happens. Immediately you go from few bars from magenta, which is on top of it, to cyan underneath it. So you went from overbought to oversold quickly, and you can see the intensity, not the distance, intensity of the speed the deceleration, the speed slowing down. Of course, it continued. It continued all the way to here. These levels are recommended, but you could see if you trade the Excel Plus, you really don't have to adjust much. Just be ready for when it says it goes over overbought and you start selling. Put your stop above from the sigma levels. Again, watch what you see, not what you think, and let it go through. We get a few folks who do a lot of analysis. Well, case in point, Nancy. She's an avid reader and she does a lot of work in fundamental stuff. But at the end of the day, the index trades index trades technically. So what you really need to look at is where we are in the charts against respect to itself. What are we doing within sigma bands? You know how the vibration is between the prices, and what's the direction of CI? Keeps you out of trouble. Just look at trade what you see, not what you think. Look at what the chart is telling you. And chart is everything lies. A lot of things lie out there. Charts don't. But you got to have good indicators. That's key. Okay, let's go to the next piece of the puzzle. We've got about 40 minutes here, which is okay. These went into also our system part. Now, mind you, if you go to our packages, either through the products page or if you signed up, You go access to the system side. There we go. We have a bunch of webinars for you. There's a lot of webinars. You're gonna say why? Well, you see our progress from 2017 to that's 6 years, and we've done a lot of webinars with other folks. Why? Because they were very helpful, like Anne Marie, Ken Simmons, Marcus Posito, Stephanie Alexander. Let's see, and then we have a few we have done with Peter Cook, our chief moderator. But the whole idea is that now we're putting all of our tools together. We give you some rules that are kind of variable. We will go through it, explain the rule, calls for it, so forth. And the other one is orb. The orb part is kind of systematic, which is, and one day maybe I can get our best software there, the Tiger Shark demo, but it's not ready. There we go. Here's what I'm looking at. This is the orb, and basically it's got three units. It can be MNQs or NQ, and it peels up. It jumps in all at once, then peels them up by certain condition. But the biggest improvement we got was when we put a DMZ in there. DMZ changed our ballgame. Before, we were looking for high volatility. First year volatility was very high, and it looked very good. As a matter of fact, this was originally designed for Bitcoin. Yeah. I just don't want to trade Bitcoin. It's hollow. There's nothing in there. It's either it's very, very good or it's very, very bad. I want management. I want market cap, which comes from balance sheet, and I want the products. So I stay with Nasdaq 100. Those companies are the Nasdaq 100 will always be there. Yes, people components will change, but it's still Nasdaq 100 is the 100 best horses we have in the horse race in this America. So and it gets replaced. If they don't do well, they replace. Look the moves we've had between, let's say, Amazon, Google, and let's say what's the name? NVIDIA, right? So let's go there and take a look. We still put a little chart together recently called the Nasdaq Top 40. Like the music's Top 40 because you could see, and it's sourced by market cap live. Okay, that's right. You could see NVIDIA wasn't up here. It came up. It slowly builds up. So, and then you could see a channel, the high and low for the previous 52 weeks. This is just from TradeStation, but it's not ours. But you could see where we are. There's a percentage from the top. Okay. Obviously, something is 97. Be careful. I don't know if you want to get long here. Maybe you should just do the calls on it, because you have only 2.5% from the top, less than that from the top. So I want to get something that's beaten up and get it. As you know, we've talked about on market timing webinars on cost. That's the only name I had for long, and it's done really, really well so far. So going back here. So when you come in the chat, so we run the orb for you. Hold on. Let me go here. Sorry. Yeah, the orb runs. This runs for 2.5 hours. Starts at 9:30. We finish at noon. We stay with that. There is this chart that's running. Hold on. This chart is running in the center on the right hand side, which is our manual system. It's a DMZ plus ATR. ATR being our ATR. The short-term vol. Added to the high here. Okay. I'm sorry. No. ATR added to the green DMZ. It's been a long day. I'm sorry. And ATR deducted. Okay. Deducted from the red DMZ. That's what creates these dots. If you hit the dot, the color changes. Now, we were a little bit bigger screens, a little bit more evident. For you guys, I think this is 38-inch. We display that for you at 55-inch. So you could see it. And I suggest if you do that, you need to have a decent monitor. But you could see how the colors change. Again, let me put it this way. You could see it. As the color changes, you could see where the thing comes. And then as we get separations, where that is, the bottoms are no longer hitting the levels or the tops. Here the tops are hitting. The tops hit, the color change. The bottoms hit, the color change. You see that in the bars. When they stop, something has changed. That pressure is down. So again, visual. visual. And here's your VWAP, here's your MBS. The VWAP is corrected for futures. Again, their VWAP is wrong because they reset at midnight. It should be reset when the legal day starts, which is in about 12 minutes at 6 p.m. MBS, they don't have it. That's my stuff. I came from the floor. It's basically a median of the price range. And you could see how many times we go and test that. You could see it. Now, today we didn't because it was too far. But the days we have more of a sausage, we keep on testing. As a matter of fact, was it yesterday? It hit one, pulled back down. I didn't touch it again. That was my trade for the day. I rallied from one point here. Give me a typical jump from here, but when the when the DMZ jumped to green, you have a squeeze. You have a pretty good squeeze here. Then it separates. I jump in. Now the ATR Monica was a little bit lower. The DMZ was a little bit lower. By the time let's think where the VWAP is was DMZ. Once it hit the DMZ, not the DMZ, MBS, market bias. When it hit the MBS, which is a gray color, not cyan, but think of it if this was. Hit there, I stopped. What happened after that? Came back down, tested, and then woof, shut down. I was out by then. I had made good money. Time was good. I had other things to do. I try to trade no more than 2 hours a day. When you get into trouble, you want to trade the whole time. That's a gambler. You're showing that you want the action. Forget the action. You need to take the money and keep it. You don't want to sit there and give it back. So some discipline is important. Again, Daddy was a fighter pilot. One mistake, you have a missile chasing you at Mach 5. You don't have a lot of time to decide. So you learn to make quick decisions. Okay. So, did we? I wonder. Yeah, hold on. Hold on. No, I want to do that. Let me take this off. I know what the cause possibility is. Okay. So, ORB. So, ORB is coming back. It's doing good. It's getting steadier. We have one more update coming to ORB, but we haven't had a chance. We moved some CPUs here because we had to improve as we're getting more cash coming in for the asset management company, the AUM rising. So we want to be ahead of that. So we ordered some new CPUs. They came in, but we've had some issues with it. So I haven't finished what I want to do on 4.98. Right now we're running 4.96 as delineated in the systems. You could see if you go to products, you'd see that it says 4. I'm sorry. Oh, this didn't have 4.96 yet. That's what 4.95 results. Yeah. Right now we are running 9.6. There we go. January 16. Right. 9.8 should be out. It all depends. It's going to be in March or not. I'm going for Persian New Year to Los Angeles to see the family. I haven't seen them in 2 years. I haven't had a day off. Last time I was there was 2 years ago, in July, 4th of July, and then I got COVID. I was in my dad's house for 3 weeks, quarantine. I didn't even see my family. But maybe I come back, I could do that. We'll run some tests. We'll see, because once we done the 4.98, we'll be ready to introduce it to you guys. But we're not there now. So during the day, what happens is the question. Well, this is the afternoon trade. Okay, first is the ORB. ORB runs, which we showed you a picture. This is ORB running by itself. To the right of this chart is chart of this, which is a DMZ ATR. Again, we got the rules there for you. Came from DMZ, from the ATR, and yes, you have to think, but majority of what you need is in front of you, and most of the time, me and Peter, majority, mainly Peter, sometimes me, we're calling this out. We're saying that, hey guys, you see this? You see this? Okay. Oh, separation. Separation means what? The continuation has stopped. We're probably going to level first and then swing up or swing down again. But first we're going to level when you get this separation. Separation is between the lows of the bars and the cyan color, or lows of the bars, high of the bars, I'm sorry, or here. High of the bars and the pluses, the magenta pluses. And When we run out of that touch, look what happened. Dropped. Not very complicated. Not very complicated. You don't need a PhD from MIT in vector calculus. Okay? Simple stuff. You don't have to be Ruscio. You can do this very easily. And again, trade what you see. When the DMZ gets this tight, a move is coming. Look at how many times it got squeezed. There was no move. Look at the move came after that. So what you need to do is be ready. Don't try a guess. Don't try a guess. Let the machine show you what you should do. What's wrong with MIT? You don't like MIT? Okay. Hey, that was probably the biggest mistake of my life. Yeah. I got in and didn't go. Because mommy, she didn't want me to be in Boston. Too far, she called it. That was an absolute lie. She didn't care about Boston. She just didn't want me to be that far. No, it was cold compared to New Jersey, but there were too many suicides, freshman suicides, and I was just here 1 year in this country, so so she just didn't want. She wasn't sure I'm going to adjust, and they had them on the high rises. People would go to the top floor and jump. This freshman, the toughest year in your college, your first semester. So she was a decorated teacher. She understood that. So, but she didn't tell me that. So anyhow, long story short. Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, there was a private school in Iran called Alborz, which was a college of Americans in Iran, and then MIT. That was you get programmed for early on. I was supposed to go to Alborz. I was supposed to go to MIT. Alborz, I didn't make it because I decided to take the sixth grade in the summer. So they at Alborz you signed up June 1st with the top GPA. They would take the 20. We're 20 out of 20. Okay, then you take 20s first. Those with GPA. Then 19.99. Then 19.98. I mean, very competitive. Yeah, and a lot of people came out of Alborz in Iran, around the country. Yeah, very smart people. And then of course you want to go overseas. The school was MIT, but. I could deal with Alborz because I took 2 years in advance. So at 16, I was ready to go to college. So I was okay with that, but she didn't want me to go to MIT. And with my AP exams, I ended up to be a sophomore. So at 16, I was sophomore in engineering, and it was tough, but it's okay. At least I didn't get into trouble. All right. So DMZ ATR is a very soft system. No code for it. It's very visual. Again, trade what you see, not what you think. Rules are simple. Colors are automatic. We do not give this out. No, but it's available to you in the chat room constantly. Yeah. We only turn this off on Saturdays when there's no activity. There's no future markets are not open. We talked about ORB. Now let's go to OTF first. You can see these OTFs next to it. That's probably what started us in this journey. OTF was done again per suggestion of one of my clients that he worked for Jeffries, and he ran the Jeffries office at Chicago. So a lot of big size traders there. And he showed me a chart he had, and he said, I'm trying to get this thing to work with your indicators, but it doesn't. It was based on eSignal. As you know, we had the eSignal software too. But when eSignal got sold out to a private equity firm, and I had a couple of interactions with them since then, those are different environment, different culture, different management, and of course, my buddies over there that sold out and left, they cashed out. What was left was a hodgepodge of idiots, because they went through the company and got rid of all the big salary people. Most private equities do that, trying to save money. They fired the number guy in software development. They said he's too expensive. I hired him immediately. He had a wife and kid. He had a newborn. So I immediately hired him. I said, program something for me. Here's some stuff. And he did. We did some stuff then. But then, are we recording this? Oh, I don't care. I don't care. When you speak the truth, who cares? What happened after that is that the website dropped in quality, traffic dropped, all that. We just said, you know what? Let's concentrate more on TradeStation, forget eSignal. But anyhow, this fellow was doing eSignal. Jeffries in Chicago. And he showed me, he says, Frank, I can't get this thing to work. I looked at it, he was right, because some limitations of e-signal. No wonder I was with TraceStation, yeah. To me, TraceStation is a Rolls Royce. Anything else is a wannabe or second class, okay? The Rolls Royce of the industry is this. And because it lasted 25 years, nobody has been able to get to them in size, yeah. And so we went to TraceStation looking at that concept, which had to do with activity parts of price bar. Okay, and remember, prices are going to constantly change. That won't tell you anything. What you need to do is what you embed in there for block sizes. So we had to come up, if you run the regular raw fractals, it's called five panels. Okay, and simply was OTF fractals. We call it fractals. I mean, first of all, we did OTF for a bunch of asset classes, and it was very difficult. The maintenance wise, okay, we a lot of data. First of all, we had a lot of data, so data was coming in at a very high speed rate. We had a lot of massaging, filtering, and keeping the data clean. The biggest things you find out, and I did some neural work in the '90s. That's how I got introduced to TraceStation. When neural work was done for Goldman Sachs and a little bit of Goldman Sachs, mainly for Morgan Stanley. Uh, Data is everything. You get a little garbage in your data, you're done. You're cooked. Okay, looks like cash open. The future's open. That's the MBS that's adjusting down. Okay, good, good. So what happened was uh, we built it. We had to build some volatility bands around it. The next version was to put sigma channels around it. Okay, you can see there's a big differential. Okay, of what concept you want to look at. And then of course some of this and some of that, by the way, creates target shock. It's not that simple, but there's a best of looks like best of the breed goes become target shock. But you can see two raw models. Okay, now where the plus comes from. Oh, I'm sorry. So we had different for different assets. I'm sorry. We had different assets. We had the VIX in there. We had the crude, gold, treasuries, 5 years. A lot of it never used. Nobody used it. I mean, even VIX. There was one guy using the VIX. So we were very sporadic. Too much going on. Too many chat rooms. It was just way too much. Yes, it was a good demonstrator for the technology, but it was an overkill. A lot of people didn't care for it, didn't understand it, or overwhelmed by it. That's a problem. Acceptance is crucial. So we said, you know what? Let's do it a different way. We're gonna do 2 or 3 assets, but we're gonna do it with fractal way. You know what a fractal is? Okay, let's say let me show you an example. Images of a fractal. By the way, we're just a simple company. We're not a big marketing company. We don't do anything fancy. We just do it as it is. This is a fractal. If you look at it this way, this is a fractal. If you open a shell on the beach, you see those lines in there. That's what a fractal is. We start from small and gets bigger, 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 and then woof. This happens in the universe everywhere. All you have to do is get yourself a binoculars at night or a long-range viewfinder. You see what's happening where you don't have a lot of light around you, and like drive from here to Miami at night. Oh my God, you won't believe what you see because there's no air, dirty air here, and there's no light around you for about 100 miles, and you see incredible stuff in the universe. But that's a fractal. This is a fractal. Okay. So what we said was, you see this concept as very, very small, it gets big, big, big. Does that rule apply? Sure enough, it did. It did. Of course, somewhere here in my bookcase was Fractals in Markets. I forget who wrote that. It's I think it's probably in our book library. I'm sorry, in our suggested readings on the blog. We're not attached to it. We don't make anything off of it. It's just a listing for you guys to think about. Hold up. Hold on. I'm trying to get the book. I think you guys see. Hold on. Fractals, no barbarian, no. Profit derivatives, no. Used to be here. Damn it. It has to do with fractals. If I find it, I can email it to you. Not profile. I forgot. It has to do with. I forgot the name of the guy. Has to do with the fractals in the market. Anyhow, there's been a lot of smart people who worked on that. Well, it turned out that we could do that. How? We download the data. We look at the block trades, not all of the volume. Block trades. Hold on 1 second. Yes, Mandelbrot. Yes. Okay, that's a good one too. Yeah, man. Mandelbrot is a big one there. We've talked about it. Yeah. Correct. Thanks, Rich. So we had to go for it's a multi-surface solution if you think about it, because these things are varying. Nothing is fixed, but you could see a very very big guy trading big blocks all the way to small two-man hedge funds, so to speak. Okay. Now beyond to the right of this is mom and pops. We dropped those. Why? Mom and pops don't move the market. Okay. You need the whales. These are big guns, and they don't trade that much. But when they trade, yeah, they make waves, big time waves, and that changes everything out there. So thus came the concept fractals. So we had, and we did it for ES, we did it for NQ, da. Now, this year, as a part of what we did with Tiger Shark, we found a little bit better way of looking at block data. Now, I'm not going into detail of it again because that's classified. That's proprietary, extremely proprietary. And we call this a plus. It's called OTF plus. It's not Tiger Shark, but some of that technology was used as a give back. I felt bad. I spent a lot of time on Tiger Shark last 2 years. Once we got the orb running, I spent a lot of time on Tiger Shark. And then when I see a commonality that can help you guys, I put it back in. But I don't go in there and explain what it is done inside. All I say is it's placed on blocks, and you can see how accurate it is. You can see how these moves go. And one of the things it does for us, the OTF Plus, it executes better in fast markets. Now, we're having a problem with a different machine here, a new machine. That has to be looked at. TradeStation doesn't get it either. How come it doesn't happen here? How come it doesn't happen the other 5 machines here? On one of our machines, the prices don't match. There's something wrong with the machine. It has nothing to do with the OTF Plus. Okay, OTF Plus is the way to go. It's a better standard for managing this type of a data. Remember, we have a lot of data in there, and we have to keep it clean. But it doesn't mean the prices cannot. The prices could be different. Prices can't be different. Cannot. At any given time, there's one price, right? On futures, there's one price. Period. If you look at it, yes, delta T goes to 0 at the limit. There's one price. I don't care how fast of a market you're in, right? So when it's not matching, there's a problem. We're going to work on that. We're not perfect, okay? But that's where we are. See that. I think I'm done. I think what I'm trying to say is done. Again, you see what's happening here? We're about to rotate. I remember this is live right now. This is live. So you could see we opened there as the MBS came down. We've sold off. How much? That's not telling me because that's from the. That has not reset yet. Hold on. I'm sorry. Let me see here. It says plus 34. We're not plus 34. Since the open, we're down, not up. Okay, they haven't caught up on the update there for the price, but we have dropped. This is the open right there at 6 p.m. And this is the drop. Look, see what's happening? We're oversold. We should bounce. Look what happened. Look what happened. So again, you trade what you see, not what you think. It's very, very simple. But you gotta be focused. The problem I have with most people, they're chit-chatting. They have a phone call they have to do with England. Guys, please do that too, but not when you're doing this. Okay? Or if you want to do both, you do both. Okay. Use a smaller dollar value so you don't panic because your mind is somewhere else too. But you gotta stay focused. Okay. I'm open for questions. This is my spiel. Oh, one more thing. Any sign-ups coming in with a priority going to existing members. We gave that polo shirt. We need your size and address. Any new sign-up coming in for 2 packages. the top lines, which is uh, the top lines here on products, which is Happy Expert. They get it, okay, and then this one, the Chacho. You don't need to be the elite. This the elite in the cross train session. The best value for the systems is the Chacho because we are interacting with you, we are overriding, we're showing you what to do. A little bit cheaper, but this product or the expert, you get a polo shirt, and we are whether you're a member or you join doesn't matter. And we do based on PayPal, so we keep track of things. Now we're going to be short some product. We've ordered some already, and that was our first batch when they did the logo, which is embroidered. So we had to wait for that. And that's the sucker. Again, we don't sell these. This is as our way of saying thank you as a loyalty issue. So there we go. Again, it's PML Cotton, Brooks Brothers, cotton, and it's made right here in the U.S. of A. Good old U.S. of A, right? We have some in inventory, some more coming in of different sizes. We're also ordering some for women. That's the men's size. With that said, I'm good here. Any questions for me? Come on, you guys have to have some questions. Remember, this is a way of life. These charts, these systems, and so forth. Why? Well, because you're investing in yourself. A series of tools. It's a series of Ralph would tell you that. Robert, Siamak, Dennis, Johnny. These are guys who they're here. Hey, Vlad, welcome, sir. These are folks who are here with us day in day out, and this is how the tools are used. And no magic to it. Why is that? Why is it needed? The problem is leverage. You could make serious money here. Okay, if you have the fortitude and the patience to sit through the moves, but also if you're not paying attention, it's the other way around. It's a very sharp knife on your neck, and you better be ready to jump. Say I'm out, because if you sit there, good back. Today I messed around a couple of times, and in one of the accounts, the size of a trade I wanted was outsized. So the moment I had a little lift from the value, I got out. Took a smaller loss, but I got out. I said, I'm out. Why? Don't want to go back in. Now, after I left, it rallied very strong. But there was a time I was sitting out there, this area. And then I came back, this was beginning to happen. That's just the short covering. The way I look at it, this is all short term. We're entering to a left-hand translation. If this holds, we're doing these are stock market. I mean, bear market rallies. These are bear market rallies. We'll see. Now, we should be in a bear market right now. It's way too early. As I described on the PMT, skew is up. There should be an event, but we don't know when to get there. You can't tell that. We don't make the news. We can't chase the news for you. What we're trying to say is, heads up. Statistically, there's a problem here. And that window is like let's say 7 to 15 weeks, 6 to 12 weeks, something in that range, okay? 8 to 16 weeks. We're entering that area. What would cause it? I don't know. What's the big event? Well, Fed is next week. No, the week from, no. Fed is week after next, right? Fed is 2 weeks from now, yeah. That's FOMC. I think next week, there's a tomorrow, Jerry Powell talks about Humphrey Hawkins. I'm not sure, but I forgot the calendar. It should be. But the point is, let me see here. Where's my calendar? There we go. Okay. Not the 20th. I don't see him there. Okay. Let me take a look here. 1 second, guys. I want to make sure I'm clear in my head on that. There we go. All right. Okay. Powell speaks tomorrow. This is Humphrey Hawkins. Yeah, this is Humphrey Hawkins speaking there. And then, which used to be that twice a year. They used to call it that. It was codified in Congress at that and in August. So, but the following week is Persian New Year. That's what do you call it? Spring equinox. Spring equinox and fall equinox. Usually we get a reversal. Usually they don't have to, but a lot of time we do. Here's the issue: what's the catalyst? We just gotta watch it. There could be a bond auction that goes bad. There could be something out there that's wrong. I don't know, some news, but it's major for us to move down. To me, this stuff is just getting excesses out. NVIDIA caused this. We went too far up. And everybody was going up without a reason. Well, you can't go to heaven from here without a couple of drops first. Yeah. So, any questions for me? Oh, new questions, sorry. How do I put the header for the study on the chart? What do you mean by header? Robert, question. What do you mean by header for the study on the chart? You mean this thing? You want to open the mic and ask me to the microphone, Robert? Okay, so. Oh, the name of the study. Uh, you open, what do you call it? You open the function there that allows you your studies to be on or off. We turn ours off because we have a lot of proprietary stuff there. Yeah, it's a function of you go to here, Windows, okay, and it's just show status line. We don't show status lines because we have a lot of proprietary stuff there. So for a reason we don't. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, that's all. It's a function of the trade station. Yeah. Now these panels are not regular panels. They were written for me, tied to my logins for the OTF stuff. And I did that because I helped them get the option station working. The option station was terrible, and they said so. And I didn't ask for anything at the beginning. I just fixed that. Me and Admiral Esposito, you know the story. We worked with them to get that working. At one point, they came to me and said, "This can't be real. I mean, this is a different product." I know. Yeah, and this guy's 27 years. He traded 27 years on Florida Seaboard. Of course, it's gonna be different. This is Admiral Esposito, and I understood this stuff. So we help you get working, and you got to be interactive. So I can go from a chart into option chain and come back and make a decision. I mean, here's one of the things we look at: our watch list. Okay, if you go this package built for the option guys. Not there. I'm sorry. Hold on. Here we go. We do what's called TCM options. These are related. These two talk to each other. So if I, like, for example, let me pick one. Let's say I hit Apple. Then when I hit Apple, the chart over here turns to Apple. Here's Apple. Went to Apple. We connected the two. Okay, so you could see we have certain rules. That should be 5 minutes. Sorry, this should be daily. I'm sorry. Tico, did you do this? So he does this sometimes. Yeah, he comes. Yeah, he wants to trade. Yeah, this is Tico. Yeah. I mean, if you think he does it, yeah. The kid. Okay, there we go. Okay, here's your. Oh, look at this, Jesus. Okay, so we go from this stuff. Okay, then when you clicked it to this. Now, so we did a lot of work on the options for them, and then one day they said it can't be. What's the catch? I said, do you see movie Godfather? Remember the wedding? Yeah. I'm not going to ask you for much, but one day I may ask you for a favor. And so 2 years later, I told him, this is what I want you to do for OTF for me. That's how OTF was started. I had no intention of creating something for OTF where other could be repeats. No way. No way. Because my whole idea is I have to control the spigot. I have to. It's my IP. I got to control it. So we wrote some codes that tie into my login, and then it comes alive. So, and for that, we don't show all the labels there. That's all. Hope that makes. Again, the whole issue is. Oh, no worries, Richard. No worries. The whole thing we've tried to do is give you tools for you to use. It doesn't matter how we got there. And we have to protect our IP. We have been hacked before. Yeah, yeah. And now we have copyrights done. We had to file for our copyrights with USPTO, Patent and Trademark Office. Not copyright, trademark. We had to do our trademarks, and we have defended vigorously. Yeah, I learned that. You got to do it. Look at Intel. Look at we know Intel, or software, but software like Gates stuff. You know, like a Microsoft or Apple. But you got to protect your work vigorously. If you don't, it has no value. They'll replicate. Next thing you know, it's sitting on some Chinese website, and it becomes a whore. Everybody's using it. Everybody has it. That's no good. Actually, the value drops. We keep the usage down. Okay, little premium for the price, usage down, but to give a valuable software. Anything that's cheap or free is no good. Exactly that. It's free or no, or cheap. Why can't you charge a fair price? So because the fair price is low. Yeah, exactly. Any other
Barry,
questions for me?
Barry, can you hear me?
Yes, I do.
It's Bob. On that middle chart where you have the happy underline CL underline CI diff, how
Yes,
did you put that on there to where it shows? That's
this
what I'm
one.
trying to talk. Yeah, how do you put that header to show on the chart?
Or it's just you do a right click, you say add a study, and it comes on your indicators. You just add it. For
Yeah,
example,
but
what? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
okay, but I see the name. The study comes up, but the name of the study doesn't show on my charts.
You're kidding me. I'll be more than
I
happy
mean,
to
I
look at your
can right
machine,
click
but
on the actual study and it'll show what it is, but I can't get it to show the happy CLCI diff with this numbers on the front of it there. That part
okay,
I can't get to show.
okay. I need to look at your machine. I'll be more than happy to help you. Something simple you're doing. It comes from this function. Hold on. Window. Okay. This has to be on. Remember, this is a standard chart. This is not an OTF
Okay.
chart. So that's on. And then I believe it could be status line. There we go. Take a look at this. Take a look at these options you have. And send me a snapshot. I can tell you what's wrong. Or you play with it.
Okay.
Okay? But
Thank
that's
you.
that's the area of the problem. That's it. This is a standard chart. They should show all of that. I mean, for example, let's open this up. Hold on, not like that. Hold on. Let me open this up. Oh, Jesus. Sorry. Well, I'm getting old. Okay, here we go. We're going to add another indicator, right? And let's say I want to add, not MBS, I want to add FHHL. There we go. I'm going to do this. This is the first high and low. Boom. You put it in, you put these, oh, it's going to go up there. Sorry, I don't want to go up there. I want to add on the bottom. Oh, okay, let's do the ATR. Let's do the ATR. Okay, so we go here and say happy ST vol, short-term volatility. Again, there are two versions, regular and OTF, but obviously distribution does not include the OTF parts. Boom. Okay, you hit yes, boom. It plots it, and there's your standard there. That's your setup. I mean, the label. The label goes in there. And that's how that went in. Now, the CI/CI diff has got both because we do a compression there to save the space. You can't do it with DMZ. DMZ is on a price. CI isn't. So you can do CI and CI diff together. You can't do DMZ diff with DMZ. This is a standalone. Short-term vol, boom. You want to take it out, right turn, go to studies, edit, and there's your short-term vol, okay? And this is remove that. Okay, so it's still there. But if I take the status off, it goes away. Right? No, not VVAP. I'm sorry, not VVAP. STVOL. If I take the status off, boom, it goes away. That's it. Before even you close. But that's how that's controlled. Any other questions for me? As always, this is being recorded. Will be posted. We have to do a post processing, and as always, everything goes to our blog, not blog, our YouTube channel, and gets posted here. It takes about half an hour. for post-process. I appreciate you guys attending. I don't see any other questions. Are we good? If you have any questions, please ask, or we're going to close this baby. Sorry it took a little bit longer, but I tried to focus on the meat of the problem, explain to you what you're getting and what you're not getting. All right, guys? Now, the happy indicator, guys, this also gets posted there in addition. On if you go here, go to happy expert there, we'll add a line here. I mean, up above. You know, saying March 5th, 2024, an update to all of these. We have to update these because we continue going on. Now, why don't we do it on every webinar, every change? We can't. It's not efficient. I'm time bankrupt. And also, I want it to be tested. I want to be tested before I put it that level. So you could see what we have done last 4 years. Something like 2 systems and about 5 indicators. That's a lot in 4 years. People who write code constantly, they don't know what they're doing. And they're not doing a back test properly in terms of multiple assets, multiple time frame. Now, some people are just lost. I have a family friend. He's trying to write one indicator for 4 years. I told him, try Uber. This is not for you. If it takes you 4 years to write one code, let somebody else write the code for you. It's not for you. He wasn't happy with me. But I mean, you just gotta be upfront with yourself. But you can also write it and trade tomorrow. I have another friend who uses ChatGPT, and he's using that to write. Are you with me? Robert, are you with me? He used ChatGPT to write a trading system. Are you nuts? ChatGPT has a hard time figuring out what you're doing, much less figure out what TradeStation is doing. Anyhow, from what I hear, he's had nothing but losses, and some of them have been big losses. So, which means one more thing, not tested enough. It maybe ChatGPT can write you a good system, but how much is enough testing? You see my point? He did not. Whatever he did not do enough, obviously, because twice he got wiped out, and so that means that he was in a rush. You can't rush these things. That's why if I have his working system, I'm going to cherish that. I'm going to nourish it. I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to use it. Then alongside with it, I maybe develop something new. But I would not jump to a new product and go to test it. Or trade it. I trade that's proven. Okay, listen. I've been back and forth testing on the Tiger Shark for about a year plus. Maybe it's not 2 years yet. And probably a year before that was just simulation. Because if you can't make money on simulation, you'll never make money on the real life. Why? Fear. Yeah. Any other questions for me, guys? Again, been a long day. Appreciate you guys coming in. Sorry if I missed something there. Forgive me. But I wanted to make sure that we get this thing done today. And we'll do more, but not immediately. These we do for, archiving what we have done and have a place for people to go at least seek the initial questions. And then, of course, I'm always available for exceptions, either by email or other webinar or what have you. Thank you all. See you soon. All the best. Now, next week, we have our bi-monthly stock market webinar, 13th. 20th, I'm not here. I'm in LA for Persian New Year. 27th would be after that. And if you go here, you'd see it's that I save most of the names. If you're not getting an email from us on this, then you may want to jump in and sign up again. But we have quite a bit of people already in because I brought it in yesterday. But you could see it's every 2 weeks. Okay? Boom, boom, boom. All right. Thank you so much. All the best. See you next week.